interesting is, I have a lot of companies come up to me and they say, how do we know who our high potentials are? I love that question. I've got two answers. Number one, you've got to look for people who are competent. Does that make sense? You've got to have people who are competent. But even more importantly than competence, you need people of character. Character and competence. Powerful combination. Every now and then, I'm approached by a friend. This particular friend in Orlando is a middle school principal. She says, John, would you address our students? We have an awards banquet coming up. There's going to be 2,000 parents and grandparents, and we've got 400 7th and 8th graders. I love the opportunity. I said, I would love to do that. So I posed the question to the students. The students were in front of me. It was a gymnasium, right? The stands are filled with parents and grandparents. I'm not even looking at them. I'm interested in the kids. And I posed the question, I'm never going to forget this. I said, who can tell me a great definition of character? There's this young man, 13 years old, in the first row. He was the only one who raised his hand. I ran over to him. I said, what's your name? He stands up. He says, my name's Amant. I said, Amant, thank you. Thank you so much. What is the great definition you want to share? He says, it's what you do when nobody else is looking. The place erupted. Everybody erupted. I said, Amant, maybe you should do the speech. You know what's interesting is, we've heard that definition before. It's really not all that unique, although fairly unique for a 13-year-old. What's even more unique was that he was that quick. He was that quick in coming up with the construct, meaning that he lives his life as a 13-year-old with a construct of character. We need that. Look at the examples of business people. Character is a determinant of our ultimate destiny. Not our destiny, ultimately how people remember you. I don't care who you are. Diligence. There's no substitute for working hard. It is a long, curvy road. You cannot necessarily be concrete about what your vision is, about next steps. You can't. But you've got to commit every day to becoming the best that you can be. More capable, more committed, more aligned. That's the gift of leadership. That's what great leaders, that's what great parents do with their children. Think about it as you work with leaders back at work. Future leaders, the younger people, massive talent. How do we unleash talent? We've got to get people focused in on the inner core. Inner core, character, values, self-concept, soft. When I talk to CEOs about this stuff, they say it's soft. It is kind of soft. But you know what's interesting is how you think, your thoughts every day about anything, whatever thought you have, control your emotions. You can't have an emotion without first having a cognitive. You can't. It's impossible. Thoughts control emotions. Emotions control behavior. Behavior controls results. The inner core is so powerful. You know what's interesting is the world sees your outer core. Nobody sees the inner core except who? You tell me. Who sees your inner core? Who is the only person who can see your inner core? You. Think about this. That very often the first step to failure is success. That's the first step. People get afraid when I say that. What are you talking about? You're scaring me. Don't scare me. Think about this. Opportunities happen to successful people. Opportunities happen to successful organizations. So before, you may not have had many opportunities. Now what happens? Woo! Got all kinds of opportunities coming in. And then what happens is, predictably, you lead to the next, what I call the 3Ds. Distraction. That's what happens. Take your eye off the ball. Jim Collins, years ago, wrote the book, Good to Great. Incredible book. If you go back to that book, do you know that a lot of those companies don't even exist anymore? Unbelievable. You know why? He predicted it. He predicted it. It's the 3Ds. Opportunity. Oh, wow. Then we get distracted in our personal lives too. Am I correct? Distraction leads to diffused effort and focus. Now we're diffused. Look at relationships. It's very interesting. How many people in this room have noticed the unique relationship that a grandparent has with a grandchild? How many people have noticed that before? Grandparents and grandchildren, and you can go anywhere on the globe in this, any country, and you watch a grandparent interact with a grandchild, it's different. Every conversation, grandparent and grandchild were connecting eye to eye, face to face. I watched the parents, and what did they do? They stood up like authorities, right? It is something that I've observed all over the world. Of course, you know what the cynics say? The cynics say, hey, wait a minute. Grandparent and grandchild, they share a common enemy.